series. I think on today's episode, all I'm gonna be talking about is my frustration with art and other things. Trying to learn how to do video making, game design, and then especially drawing faces. I don't know why. I can I can draw a face if we're being honest, not a good one. I feel like my main thing when it comes to video games and art, especially when it comes to video games, the games that I would want to make one day, I don't know, it's weird because I feel like the main thing for me, what I like seeing in games is actually seeing the character's emotion, and not at face value, but actually feel and see the character's action and emotion, what they're feeling in that moment. If I want to see an angry character, I actually want to feel their anger. And I know there's other things that I can do to do that, but I feel when it comes to drawing faces, especially eyes, I suffer from the same face syndrome extremely, and I feel my faces are just very kind of just flat on the paper, they have no 3D form or anything. And so I've been trying to study other artists, other YouTube video tutorials, and then other artists that I saw and find that I because I feel I'm happy with a cartoony art style, but I know that I always want to just branch out into maybe that high fantasy, really kind of raid, or damn it, I forgot the name. Or a very just very high fantasy, high creature art style. Another main just frustration of mine when it comes to stuff like this, and I'm talking in general, I feel my brain understands well enough of the basics of faces and things like that, especially after that being the main thing that I draw most of the time. But then I realize when it does come to actually putting it down on paper, there's only so much it knows, and I can't fill in the gaps or anything to actually get it to point A to point B. We're just simply stuck at the middle of that, which isn't a bad at all, but I always do wish I could get to the end goal. But then I realized no matter if I do get to that end goal, I'm never going to be truly satisfied with that end goal, which sucks. It sucks never just being oh, so happy with your art. There are some small art pieces that I do that I'm you know what, that actually came out good, I'm proud of myself today. And there's other ones where I'm oh, I'm going to have come back to you once I actually learn how to do this thing. I don't know, just learning how to draw, it's so frustrating, but it's so fun. But it's mostly frustrating actually trying to understand it, because at some point you realize, oh, I can draw most of these things I want to draw, except I have to use a reference for every single one of things. So when you don't have that reference available to you, it's your brain just doesn't know how to draw anymore, which is extremely frustrating. Not only that, I feel with starting this art channel and learning how to code and posting all that on here, I don't understand video editing either. I thought it would be somewhat easier. It's not. It's very confusing. And then also having to get over the fear of talking into a microphone, especially since I don't like talking in real life. I feel I'm a very meek talker, and then listening back to it over the headset is the worst thing in the world for me. When it comes to video editing, I feel it's just difficult, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then what other people would want to see and not want to see. I feel it's extremely difficult, because I know what I like and everything, but also I know I don't really have standards for the type of videos that I like and everything. I feel I just very simplistic stuff, a nice little speed draw in the background and then someone's just talking or no talking at all. I feel that's the type of videos I usually watch, or just those 1 hour long video essays. I feel it's great. But for me, I kind of realized when it comes to the videos that I would want to make one day, once I finally figure out what I'm doing, I finally got a microphone, except at certain points my voice is louder than others, so I have to make sure I find a good medium ground. I feel when it comes to video editing and actually learning how to create videos, I want something engaging. If you decide to actually watch a video, there's something on the screen at all times and it actually looks good. And if you decide to listen to that video, just listen to it instead of watching it. I also want it just to be engaging as well. Now onto the actual, like, I guess point of this video, which is drawing heads. So right now I am referencing an artist that I found on Pinterest. I'll put the name up here, but I just love the way how their drawings was, and there was like multiple different pieces of this one character. When I saw it, I was like, this is like the type of art that I want to make, like something very, very pretty, very beautiful. I feel like I could feel like the emotion of the character, if that made any sense. I just really like enjoyed the way on how it looked and everything, so I was like trying to copy it, except the eyes messed me up so bad, and the hands and eyes are really messing me up over here, because I just couldn't like really understand like the angle of the eyes. I feel like the character's like is looking down at something, because her eyes aren't like open, so I'm like, what is happening here? But I still have like a lot of fun, especially trying to like copy the hair. I still have no idea on how I would do that like in color. I feel like that's like my main problem, is like I just don't practice like any coloring. I always just do sketches, and then line art I try to avoid as well. I avoid everything that isn't a sketch, which is like the worst thing ever, since I want to make like actually like colorful video games. So I have drawn faces before, like in the past, like just different ones from like anime to like trying to do realistic, and then just whatever that last one is. And as of recently, I have like tried drawing them at like different angles, I would say. So here are two drawings that I done this month inside like my new sketchbook as of recent. I'd like for it to be so like one day into the future, when I do draw again and I post my art on here, it not only is it like engaging, it's enough to the point like the faces are exaggerated and you can feel like what the character is thinking. But it's not only faces I want to learn how to draw, it's like the face and the body, so they like both match each other and everything. I want to be able to draw like a bunch of different faces, and then also be able to draw like the same face. I noticed that I can never draw the same character once. They will never ever look identical to each other, which is really bad, especially since I do want to have like an actual OC one day that I can like draw over and over again and like actually keep to it and make sure like they look the same in each and every single drawing, like same hair and everything, because I feel like I just change it up so much, especially after I go onto Pinterest and I see something like, oh, I want them to have that. Like I feel like I just swap up everything so much to the point like that's a whole nother OC by the time I'm done with them.